It's going well, Liberty Kingston. Russell Kane here. People keep complaining, why isn't it live? I wish more people would come on and do live. Why isn't it live? The reason it's not live, whingers, half the time, although this is that no one effing turns up when it's live. People would rather see a crafted version of me having a breakdown, not the live version. Whew, hat on. This is me. I mean, this really is a tale of my office. There's wine, there's an exercise bike and pets. I haven't been on for a while, so I thought I would pop on. Callum Fish is asking for my opinions on fat people. Well, for a start, I probably wouldn't use a term like fat people as it's highly offensive. I've got opinions on diet, nutrition, mental health and its interaction between people's eating habits, education, how that education interplays, class, privilege, what we define as fat, and that's its interplay with privilege. I mean, it's quite a loaded question rather than, what do you think of fat people? You can. Kant, I said, Immanuel Kant. Would you do a joint gig or TV show with Russell Howard? Of course. I often think the people to collaborate with are the people you have same names as. That, for me, is the primary creative reason. Favourite watches? Don't mind Breitlings, like Rolexes, Tags, Cartiers, all watches, really. Thanks for getting my family through lockdown with, mate. You're welcome. Do I like cheese? I love it. Can we see your cats? I'll open the door, see if they come in. What do I think about Boris's pay rise? That. Right, Terry. You know, I'm not bothered about pay rises per se. It's just, you know, it's probably not the right time to do it, if you know what I mean. Right, Terry's here anyway. At least Terry's here. It's Terry! Sophie King says, I am fit. Thank you very much. A man in a baseball cap who hasn't showered for 2 days. That's your definition of thick, is it? So this is my room. This is where I hang out. Panini or ciabatta? Ciabatta, obviously. Ciabatta is the Italian for shoe or slipper, I think. Any news when you're next on tour, Jester? Asks Finite Void. I wish I knew the answer to that, Finite Void. I mean, looking at it, I've got to be honest. Oh, here's Roy. Here's my other Katine. Look. Roysy! Hello, Roysy! I've left the tour dates in for September and October. I mean, that's so pathetically optimistic. I'm bipedal, so I'm into both pets. Any questions? This is falling flatter than my white coffee. This is why I don't bother with lives, because no one rocks up. Look at that. It looks like I'm wearing a wig. I'm not. It's not a wig and it's not a comb over. It is my hair. Although, I think that could be the start of... Could that be the beginning of the end? I did check a photo and I've always had that bit of forehead there, so maybe not. Okay, people, I'm not seeing many questions here. There we go. Whoa, loads of questions at once. I saw you in Carlisle in November and want to know, are you okay? Names, practices for your shows, because a lot of the jokes in the show we repeated in the caning. I don't know what that means. I'm attempting to write a children's book. I'm speaking to Penguin about that. I'm about halfway through. Have I ever been to Denmark? Yes, so I've been to Copenhagen and it was wonderful. I do have good teeth, but I've got this gap here which bugs me. What's your view in America holding an election campaign whilst in the middle of a pandemic? I think it's risky for Trump to do that because idiots are more likely to not to wear masks and die, and idiots are Trump's core voters. Dahl or Rowling? Dahl. In fact, at 7:30 tonight, I'm about to finish George's Marvellous Medicine at story time. Providing the venue would be ideally choosing a business. Where can we... Oh, it's not really about Sean Hayes, a place. It's more about the venue. As long as it's a decent stage with an audience, I'm not fussy. What have I watched on Netflix recently? I'm watching the Mafia series. That's pretty good. Yeah, the Mafia TV show. Pride and Prejudice, good. The novel, I take it you mean, Tris. Do you know what? It's one of the first novels I ever read at uni, and Jane Austen, when it's taught right and you get the right tutor, she's actually very funny. What music do I listen to? I'm very, very omnivorous. Hard house, R&B. I like classical. What's my favourite conspiracy theory is that masks are here to control us so a new world order can be brought in. Do you know what annoys me is about conspiracy theory people is, why don't we ever have a conspiracy audit every year? So every year, I don't know, November the 1st, we have an audit where we look at all the conspiracy theories that they said were true, and the ones that haven't come true, all the people that online saying they were true have to have the word cunt tattooed on their forehead for a decade. That to me seems fair. So if you have friends that were like, explain Sweden then. If lockdown's so effective, explain why Sweden doesn't have a COVID-19 outbreak. This was April. You know, next door, Norway, covered in COVID, lockdown, Sweden, everyone's in cafes going about their business. No outbreak. Of course, 1 month later, Sweden has the worst infection rate per 1,000 people. The people that said Sweden doesn't get infected should have the word cunt tattooed on their forehead. Idiots! I'm not sure if this connection's wrong or what's wrong, because what's happening is I'm getting no questions and then hundreds at once. So it's just a short live today, and I'll be sodding off. And I'm not ashamed of it. Look at that. And then loads of questions. Mask with vowels don't filter. COVID juice. Have you read any more of Margaret Atwood's books? I have. I read the rewrite of The Taming of the Shrew. It was absolutely brilliant. Fave trainers, Huaraches. I know they're a bit like 2017, but man, I love Huaraches. Have you listened to Do I Miss Southend all the time? Talk about it all the time. Go there all the time. Well, you say don't wear backward hats, but if I wear it forward, it sort of dominates the frame. And I can't subject you to my Beatles 1964 haircut. Ideally, I wouldn't be wearing a hat, but then I'd have to get dressed, and people just keep having a go at me for not doing lives. So here I am doing lives. Jake McDonald Pike asks how many accents I can do. If I've heard an accent for more than a couple of hours, I can do any accent, anyone. Do I work out, asks Wes. Have a guess when you look at that puppy. Biatch. Will you read the book called The Forgotten Realm? Is that a reference to my Dungeons & Dragons habit? Robert Shannon asks, why are you gay but married? See, Robert can't bear the fact I've worked my way through more crumpet than a Warburton's factory. You want to watch out for men like me. Yes, we appear camp, but trust me, with Panani Masters level 7. Panani Masters level 7. We're the ones you want to watch out for, ladies. Get back to yours. I think he's gay. Come back to mine. You're gay, aren't you? Are you sure you're gay? I'm not gay. You are. Come back to mine. Let's do Sambuca shots. I'm going to convert him. Oh my God. Suck me off. I thought you were gay. I never said I was gay. Someone just asked what my thickest book is. Count of Monte Cristo, maybe? It'd be some sort of anthology. Leave the chicken treats alone, you naughty kitten. Sorry, I've been training them with chicken treats. Haven't I, Roisy? Would I have another child? Asked Sarah. No, I fucking would not. Rob Taylor asks, I've been doing D&D in lockdown, Pathfinder, just because the online's been great. I've really got into it. Have you got back to my old main, Stuart Phillips, for a trim? I have. That's where I was on Friday. Went out on a cocktail crawl in London, all socially distanced. It was lovely. Would I get a dog? My dog's here. Colin. Down here somewhere. Have I heard of Flip Flop Flanagan's FC? I haven't. Forgotten Realms is a Dungeons & Dragons world. That's why I said it, Born Hitman 47. Matt says, say bellends. I'm not going to say bellends. There's no way I'm saying the word bellends just to gratify you. Do I like pork scratchings? I fucking love them. And if you get organic pork and proper salt, it's a healthy snack, because fat is healthy. What do I think of the evil Margaret Thatcher? Why don't you subscribe to Evil Genius, my BBC Radio 4 show? We did a whole episode picking apart Margaret Thatcher, evil or genius. Whew. That painting there is a stroke-for-stroke copy of a very famous painting by an artist called Camille Pissarro. and that is Hyde Park. I want a little view of London. Who inspired me to be a comedian? I haven't become one yet, unfunny cunt. Oh, Kitanes. Look at the lovely Kitanes. Oh, yeah, Kitanes. I love you. I'm very exciting for anything Simon Pegg does. I love toast, says Paul Dingleberry. That's the kind of political satire we need. What's my opinion on confidence, asked Florian. Well, I've got one, but I don't want to say. No, seriously, Florian. I've got a new series coming out. Radio, because it's all the difference between introverts and extroverts. I speak to a psychologist. I speak to people about how being introverted or extroverted affects our lives. So that might be something you want to tune into. Have a listen. Yeah, so it starts on Tuesday the 11th of August. It's doing that thing again where your questions aren't coming up, guys. I'm really sorry. It's not. I'm not. If you're sending questions, I'm not seeing them, and then they're coming up in a big stream. God knows why. We're only on for 15 minutes just to say hi. Never more than 200 people turn up for these lives. Dogging or swinging? Swinging. I mean, dogging is swinging, just in a lay-by. Conspiracy audit. I'm just going to write it down because that's quite funny. Once a month. Where are all my questions going? Here they are. Will the COVID vaccine give you AIDS? It doesn't sound like sound science to me, Josh D. What music do I like? I already answered that one. I'm omnivorous as folk. Would be the technical answer. Last 2 minutes for any questions. Let's go back and answer some old questions then. Are you about your teeth? They are so good. They are my real teeth. That if you look at that gap there. Horrible. Show us your dog. I don't know where Colin is. Where do all my ideas come from, Robert D? From my neural pathways of my brain. That's it. It's hyperactivity mixed with having been to Ibiza 18 times, messing with my brain, being a little bit weird. They all lead to it. Plus social context, of course, and upbringing. That leads to ideas. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're having some technical difficulties here with getting your questions through, which is really annoying. But I was only going to come on for 15 minutes anyway. So there's just 1 more minute left. Let's go back through some old questions. What do you think about doing a longer live show with new stand-up material? Have you thought about doing a... That's what I do every tour, Wade. What do you think I've been doing for the last 13 years? Are your canings practices for your live shows? Very rarely. Mostly canings are topical stuff. Now and again, when I've finished touring a show, Dan, and the material's old, I will do it online. Very, sometimes at a theatre, before I get going with the main show, I'll warm up with a bit of stuff I may have said online earlier. But mostly, if you come and see me live, it's all new. Have you paid to see an act recently in the last 5 years? Who did I go and see? Yeah, Stuart Lee. Fucking brilliant. I don't really pay, obviously, because I can get free on the door. But I mean, I've gone out of the house. I've made the expense of going out. Don't give up these videos when stand-ups get going again. These videos are priceless. I've been doing canings for 4 years, Aisha. Where were ya? They'll carry on. Do you have The Joy of Sex on your bookshelf? No. I've got the specialist edition, The Joy of Anal. It's a slim volume, but it's well worth it. Have you donated to Psycho Sticks online concerts? No, but I've done 3 gigs for food banks before you try and shame me. Yeah, The Joy of Anal is a better book because it's very precise. It gets to straight what you want to know about. Future Times is doing Joe Phillips is laughing. Dirty cow. Trying to let me know. Martin Freeman or Bill Nighy? Martin Freeman. Archie McMeany asked Russell, how are you? But is he asking it philosophically? In a way to say, how am I? What does it mean to be me? After a good gig, is it a hard come down? No, I absolutely love it. It's closer for me to a really good workout, but in my mind. And funnily enough, Stephen James asked favourite red wine. That is my poison after a gig. One fat glass of red wine sat there, glazed. Yeah, the home workouts are going great. Body fat is not amazing, about 13%. I can't put muscle on, I'm like a pepperoni with hair on, but you know, the midriff's passable. La la, you're wonderful, how do you maintain it? Maintain what? Right, ladies and gentlemen, favourite Eddie Murphy film? That new one was quite good, on Netflix, where he plays the comedian. No alcohol and meat, are you fucking kidding, India Charles? I love red wine, and I had 300 grams of steak for lunch, biatch, and I'll have it again for dinner. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me for this live. I'll be back again soon. I'm going to do more of these. Look out for the canings.